What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project. This, as you can probably tell, is a Shelby Cobra, and it looks absolutely incredible. This is a new mod coming very, very soon from Payne, within the next month, I do believe, and it is going to be pretty awesome. This is what we've got with us today. There's quite a few different configs of this beast, and it does look pretty awesome. We've got some original Shelbys. We've also got some Factory 5s, who are the current people who make the remakes of it. I don't know what they're called. Kit cars, I guess they kind of are a little bit. But there we go. So we're going to be playing around with today the actual Shelby Cobra SC. I don't know what the SC stands for on this one because it doesn't have a supercharged engine. It has a carbureted engine. So there we go. But I'm not quite sure what the SC stands for. We got ours from the auction house. No adjustments needed. That's where this model is available. Pretty low percentage and all of that, but we'll work through that. We can make it manage. We'll be fine. Did we get a good deal for this one? We did. 313,312 is what I paid, and I could already sell it as is for 332,160, making 18,848 profit before we begin. I'm definitely glad to see that. Hopefully the profit margins will be high on this beautiful Shelby Cobra. The engine in this one is the V8 1-carb overhead valve, pumping out 485 horsepower, which is actually not bad from this little engine. We are going to be adding all of the performance parts to it today because we're going to take this beautiful Shelby Cobra down the drag strip, in my opinion, like it was always designed to do. Maybe it was a little bit of a race car, but the drag strip is where we'll be taking it today, and it's looking awesome. Before we jump in, just a couple of updates. Just the one update, actually, if I could get my camera to stay in the same place. I have no idea what happened there. Up we go. There we go. We've added it to the show car board. We've got the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Voodoo on there now, and we've also got the number of voters as well. So in the top spot is that Bolt Chapman VM Slammed with an average of 9.5 from 2 votes. The BMW M4, obviously, an average of 8.25 votes with 4 votes, and then the Mercedes-Benz Voodoo also on 8.25, but only 2 votes. So it does sit below the BMW M4. We'll be coming back on Wednesday for another car for this board, which is the current competition car, which is the Chrysler 300C from the Dodge Plymouth Chrysler Remastered DLC. So if you want to take part in that, link in the description below to the Red Dot Games official Discord server where we can have some fun and play with it. And you're going to want to keep your eyes on there because we've got something exciting coming very, very soon. But anyway, let's get on with this beautiful Shelby Cobra. In fact, you know what? I'm going to save myself the hassle of doing it later. We're going to check out the body parts shop for it now. So let's get in and have a look. I was already having a look, and there is a lot of it. Starting off, lots of lights and indicators and things like that, along with turn signal deletes or indicator deletes on there. Then we've got to the exhaust parts. One's one side, one's the other, left and right, that kind of thing. Then we're on to exhaust. There is lots of exhaust options, including some exhaust deletes. I quite like the side pipes we've got at the moment, but I may be interested in changing them to black, maybe even some shorter ones. We will see. At least I think they're shorter ones. I'm not 100%. We'll find out as we go. Then we've got hood latches coloured. Different 5. Yeah, so assuming all of these are hood latches. So we can get them black, chrome, or we could even paint them with the quality of life mod if we really want to. You can also delete them if you don't want them there. Then you got the Cobra badges at the back, nice and shiny, and one's in black, and then different options on there as well for 6. Then the front bumpers, a few different options for that, along with front bumper deletes and stuff like that. Carbon fiber bumper delete, I don't know, that quite makes sense, but maybe it puts a little blocket in there and it puts a bit of carbon fiber. But there is so many options. The body, which is the front clamshell, then you've got the Le Mans hard top, which I absolutely love. I'm going to build one of these definitely at some point because I think it is incredible and I do like it. Black trim carbon fiber, nice. Then lots of other options. We're just going to keep going down through, otherwise we are going to be here forever. The front fenders are just some grills. You can get them painted chrome. Lots of different wording on them, I'm assuming. I don't really know. Then we've got door options, plenty of them, and more fenders. Headlight options, lots of them, along with some fancier modern ones. And these ones here, which are pretty cool, which I think I'm going to go with. I'm not sure yet. Plenty of mirror options, plenty of taillight options, interior options, all along with Carol Shelby's autograph on there. Looking quite nice. Rear fenders, that's with the whole bit sticking out the top, I guess. Looking cool. So we can get them painted whatever colour we want. Lots of options on this beast. Is going to be absolutely wild. And then obviously the rear end, we can put a big drag spoiler on there if we want to, in all of the different colours. So we've got a lot to play around with this beautiful Shelby Cobra today. But let's get it started. Let's get it into the car wash. Let's get this one cleaned up. In the car wash with the Shelby Cobra. Let's get it cleaned and see what colour it is underneath all of that dust and grime. Are we keeping you the same colour? Red stripes. Are you red stripes on a black? You are red stripes on a black with the white racing number logos. I quite like it, I'll be honest. Probably not going to keep it because I don't like to put things back together the original way. I like to do it my own way. But anyway, let's get all that interior cleaned. There isn't much of it in there. Double batteries in this bad boy as well that sit in the compartment. I like that. That's a nice little touch there. Not sure what we're going to do with that. We'll open that up because we haven't seen the engine. It is looking awesome. We do need to get that one stripped out of here. Get everything else stripped down. Get this beautiful Shelby Cobra all ready to go back together. The Cobra's in the air. This is one of the most beautiful cars ever built. I really do love it. Checking for the oil pan. There is an oil pan. So we do need to get all of that drained out. Let's get you going. Out you come. That's not bad. Not a lot of it, but it was relatively clean, I guess. Let's get on in underneath. There we go, if I could get there. And we need to swing around to this side and get stuck in the rim. Get lost in the rim. There it is. And into here to grab out this cheeky little starter. We have no drive shaft to start with this one today. That is missing, which is a bit of a shame. So let's just get on and get the gearbox out of here. Out you come. Do need to get that starter added to my shopping list. Maybe we should have done that first. But it's fine. I'll come back and deal with that later. Now, the exhausts are obviously built into the body kit by the looks of that. So we don't need to worry about any exhaust connections. That's all fitting fine. So let's get you back down and get that one carb overhead valve engine ripped out of there. Ready to get it all back together. Shiny and new with lots of power. Hopefully ready to win a drag tournament today. What do we think? Anyway, let's get that engine out of there. Out you come, and let's have a look inside this engine bay at what we've got. So we've got a coolant reservoir right at the front there. Nice radiator A. Anything missing from it? Doesn't look like it. We do also have a small intercooler down here, which I did miss earlier when I was looking. So there we go. We also have a wishy-washy reservoir up here. Then we've got the fuse box just up on this side. Off comes that lid. Nice and simple. I don't think there's anything else in there. Doesn't look like it. As I said earlier, we got the dual batteries down at the back there, which are inside the passenger compartment, I guess. Then we got the fuel tank and the fuel pump down the back. And the weirdest rear suspension setup I think I've ever seen. What was this intentional pain? I would just like to know if it was meant to be or if it was an accident. I quite like it, but it doesn't quite fit. So there we go. Let's get on with this. We got some liquids to drain out of here. Oh, I missed the brake servo, which is just hiding down there. We also don't have any power steering in this one either. So let's get some liquids drained. Right click, additional tools, drain tool. Click on hold on whichever container you want to drain the liquid from, and it will drain it out. It is nice and simple. I'm going to get the rest of this all stripped out. When we come back, it'll be time to start playing with this beautiful Shelby Cobra's bodywork, figuring out what we're going to pit where, what we're going to swap, what we're going to keep, making it look as awesome as we can before heading into the paint shop, ready to throw on a beautiful livery for this beautiful Shelby Cobra. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on the beautiful Shelby Cobra. Now we need to sort out all of this bodywork, though, so let's just start stripping it off and see what comes out to wear. Definitely not keeping those headlights. They're just not my cup of tea. What else have we got? The front clamshell can't come out yet anyway, so out with the windshield. Out with the side mirror. I guess that's the side mirror, but there we go. There we go. Then front end. That's one whole piece, I guess, on there. Front clamshell. I'm going to think we're going to need to get all of this off, but there we go. Rear bumper off first. Out you come. We'll also grab that trunk out if we can, and that should get all the little bits off of there. Along with the tail lights, out you come. Do we have the fuel door? No. It's... Oh, the rear clamshell's underneath, but we can't take that out yet anyway. We'll come back to that. Off with the exhaust section. Front fender, just so we know what's going on, is why I'm spending more attention doing this. Out with you. So we've kind of got an idea of what goes where. I think I might have been just straight up missing the front bumper. So we'll go for that front clamshell now. Just the clamshell. That's what I liked. Any of this parts. Rear clamshell, you are apart. Out you come. Nice and easy on there. And then is the rest of this just the framing that all sits with it? It's just given me suspension and engine stuff, so I'm hoping so. We will come in and grab out these last seat. Out you come there. I'm assuming we are just missing the rest of it. We are indeed. Definitely going to stick with this style of seat. Not sure about the steering wheel. We'll think about that more a bit later as we come to it. But there we go. Is that everything stripped off just down to the frame? 1% on there and nothing showing up on there. So it really is. I do quite like that. I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty good. But let's jump in. Frame is at 9%. We bought the car for 313,000 or a little over. I don't know. I've got no idea. I'm going to go something stupid. 2,794. 19,500. Not even close, but there we go. We'll get you going. We've already checked out the body shop. It's going to go back together mostly as it came apart. We're going to change a few little bits that we like. Definitely the lights are going to be changing, and we'll see about the rest of it as we come to it. So there we go. I'm going to get that all sorted. Then we can get this beautiful Shelby Cobra, or beautiful pipework, into the paint shop, ready for a new coat of paint. Let's get this beautiful Shelby Cobra all back together then, ready to go into the paint shop to see what we're going to do with it today. I just love how there's so much stuff missing. So we're going to start, quite obviously, with that rear clamshell, which we've gone for the rear clamshell D, which is slightly different. Still keeping it on that SC version. We've added the Carroll Shelby signature onto the dash there, looking good. For the front clamshell, we just went for the B1 with the black trim, because we do like a bit of black trim here on this channel. The hood is the molded hood scoop, so we don't have the little bolts and rivets pitting it all in there. Then we've got the hood latches, which we went for car part 5D, which is a black trim, button and hood pins, so it's all just blacked out on there. For the front end, we went with the front end C, which can use these mirrors only, so make sure you are using that with a black trim on there. And to say that, we'll just get the mirrors on. That's the mirrors we went for today. A little bit of carbon fibre on there, just on the mirrors. Maybe we'll add some more later. For the windshield, just black trim, nice and simple on that one there. And that's looking quite nice. We'll carry on with this front end. For the headlights, I said I was going to go for these ones. These are the T headlights, and they look absolutely fantastic. Just a modern touch on this classic beast. Car part 1, which is the turn signal delete body painted, and car part 2 is also the same. For the front bumper, we also went for the painted bumper delete. So no front bumper on this beautiful Shelby Cobra. There we go. Round to the sides, front left fender and the right fender are both the L's. Carbon fibre, black lettering, just to keep it looking nice in there. A little extra splash of carbon fibre. On you go and on you go. For the exhausts, car part 4E, black full-length pipes, side exit. Liking them, looking good. There are a few options, but this is the one that we decided to go for today. Couldn't figure out what I was doing there, so let's get you on as well. Looking very nice. Let's move around for the doors. I went with the leather door pocket painted for the B doors, just adding a little bit of detail to it, something a little bit extra. And then on top, you've got the windows, and we just went for some black trim rivets with the tornado pins on there. Round you go, on you go even, and around we go. There we go. That's the right choice of words. For the rear left fender, which you can see does cover a little plate just down there as well, we went for the black trim with a single loop on there, so that's looking quite good. And then obviously you get all them tornado pins going further round. On for the other side, the rear right fender, black trim again, just the normal fuel door, I guess you will call it, with some little body pieces in there. All in black trim, all matching, looking very nice. If we go around the trunk, we just went for the standard trunk. I was going to go for a big old spoiler, but I thought I better not. We'll leave it looking pretty standard. So we just went for the normal trunk. And then car part 6 is the Cobra badge. Black trim, looking good on there. Rear bumper, couldn't do a rear bumper delete, so we just went with one of these big old diffusers at the back there. It's all going to sort of fit in, plus it matches in with our slight bit of carbon fibre theme. And for the head tail lights, as you can obviously see, went for the tail lights eye, which I think look really nice. Again, a modern touch on this beautiful classic car. I think that's about everything apart from the license plate. We will check in a minute, but we'll get that license plate on. Has it been fixed? I went for Cobra on our VM plate. No, still just showing up in black, but there we go. It is what it is. Let's get the interior in. As I said, I was going to keep the seats as they were. We sort of have. I just went for the red ones instead. We'll see what we're going to do with the colours a little bit later. I just wanted to see if this painted any different. It doesn't, but I like them in the red nonetheless. And for the steering wheel, went for the steering wheel Momo B, which is another new steering wheel added in by Multiply using the TK Aftermarket. No image, but this one looks pretty cool. It's just your bog standard Momo steering wheel, but you do have some NOS buttons. As we're drag racing it, I just felt like it felt a little bit more, and we will definitely be adding some colour into that bad boy a little bit later on. Now, have we got everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. We definitely have. Let's get this beautiful Shelby Cobra into the paint shop, ready for a fresh coat of paint. In the paint shop with the beautiful Shelby Cobra. I love this car. It is fantastic. But first off, let's check out what liveries we've got. I feel like we're going to need to put some colour on this car to see them. First slot, we've got black stripes with number circles all the way around. Looking good. In slot number 2, black stripes with the number circles in a slightly different place. There we go. Slot number 3 is just the black stripes. I'm liking that. On we go. Then we've got blue stripes with the number circles and blue stripes with the number circles in a slightly different place. And blue stripes on there. What else have we got? Just the number circles and just the alternative number circles. Then we got red stripes with the number circles. Red stripes with them in a different place. And just red stripes. There we go. And white stripes with the number circles. Again, in a different place. And then just white stripes on their own. I believe so. Looking good. Any more? No, that is all of them. And all of them liveries made by Payne himself, which is a rarity. And we like it. I already know exactly what I'm going for on this build. So let's get into the black stripes. Then I just want to go to red on here. And we want to mix this up a little bit. I just want to bring it down a little bit darker. Is that too dark? Maybe not to there. Is that too dark? I think we want to change the paint type as well. I reckon I want to go for a pearl. There we go. That's looking good. 1 on the colour or red. Then we got 100 saturation and 70 brightness on there. Looking pretty good. I reckon the engine bay is going to be... It looks a bit red in there. Actually, it's mostly silver, so we can do pretty much whatever we want because we've just got a lot of silver in there. So I reckon we go for the bolts in a red today. So let's get that. Bolts, all screws, including rims. I just want to make sure this is going to be roughly the same colour as what we've got on the build itself. Let's get that going. On you go. That should have painted the car all absolutely fantastically, along with all the bolts that are going to be relatively similar colour to this red when we get them in later. The blacks all look good. The reds look nice. We may change the... In fact, I'm definitely going to change the red on the seats a little bit just to bring it closer to that pearl red. Just, I don't know. We'll see. They may end up being the same colour. Gonna add a bit of colour to the steering wheel. Probably a bit of black and a bit of red. And these exhaust pipes, although they are fantastic, they're not like the same colour black as all the other black bits. So I'm going to add a bit of colour to them as well. Hopefully make that look a bit better. And then in here, yeah, so we've got a lot of black and silver in there. So red bolts, I feel like the engine is going to be mostly black with a few splashes of red on there just to keep it looking absolutely awesome. Maybe a little bit of chrome if we fancy it. But that's the plan. We shall see how it turns out. We're going to get everything else painted, ready to go back on together, do something with these exhaust seats and steering wheel, get this beast back on the lifter, and get ready to start reassembling this beautiful, beautiful Shelby Cobra. That's everything painted on the beautiful Shelby Cobra, almost ready to go back together. You might have noticed a few little bits have changed. I have added a different black to the exhaust, as I said I would there, just making them blend in a little bit more with the rest of the blacks on the car. We got black and red on that beautiful Momo steering wheel. Loving that one. And just slightly changed the red on those seats just to match it in a little bit better. Still not perfect. Obviously, this has got a metallic-y shine, and this is fabric, so it's not really going to work that well. But just bring it a bit closer to it. I think that's all that's changed at the moment. I'm pretty confident that is. So let's get it up in the air and let's get going with this beautiful suspension. Starting with the shocks, front and rear shocks, both the same in a beautiful grey carbon fibre with lovely red shocks on there. Off you come, and let's get the front ones done. Looking almost the same, just slightly different components. Very, very nice on there. Let's jump in underneath and get started. I'm going to just throw on a couple of bits down the back. The rear suspension, a cross member in a lovely little black on there. We're also going to throw in this sway bar. There's no sway bar end link to go with this sway bar, but you do need the sway bar in there to finish it off. If we jump up the front, we've got just down the front here a small intercooler, which is just in a little bit of black. I don't even know if this one's visible from anywhere. Maybe, we shall see in a little while. Then we got the front sway bar in a lovely red, and this steering rack there in a nice little black. Then we're going to crack on and get the rest of this all in with a few little clips, and I'll be back in just a moment to talk about it all. Well, there we have it, finished with half of the suspension, even if it does look a little bit weird with this rear cross member and then the upper and lower arms. But whatever, it looks great. Loving the shock in the carbon fibre. Shame there's no sway bar end link and the sway bar just sort of clips through that shock. Just a tiny little bit there, but there we go. Went for Maltese brake calipers on this one today, thanks to the TK Aftermarket, along with plenty of TK Aftermarket extras as well. Red bushings in the cross member, black bushings in the upper and lower arms in there. And it's looking very nice. At the front, no bushings in the centrepiece because we don't have one. But we've got black bushings in the upper and lower arms. That lovely carbon shock on there. The wonderful brake caliper and plenty of colours. This is the TK Aftermarket front sway bar. Slightly wider. Gives us a little bit of a power upgrade. But there we go. That's it for the time being. No, it's not. We've got to get the fuel tank in. So let's throw you in. We've just done the fuel tank in a black and then the fuel pump in a cheeky little red on there. Blending it all in with the rest of the colours. Now we are going to crack on, get the rest of the suspension all finished off before moving into finishing off this beautiful engine bay and going to building that lovely V8 engine. That's the suspension all finished. Lots of black, lots of red, and a few little splashes of carbon fibre just for good measure. But let's crack on and let's get this engine bay all sorted out. Starting with the radiator in that lovely pearl red just at the front there. You should be able to see it through the grille, or the not-so-grill as it is. Coolant reservoir, we have coloured this one today in a black just to keep it blended in without seeing the liquids. Wishy-washy reservoir is also in the black. So is the fuse box, and we have, for the first time, painted the brake servo as well, just in a full black with a yellow cap on there, just so we couldn't see any of the liquids from the inside. We've got a couple more pieces to go. The two sets of batteries. Both trays are in their billet black. Obviously, you can still see the billet marking on there. But the batteries unpainted, just as they are. The brackets in a black on the top, and then the bracket rods in a lovely pearl red. In you go, on you go. And the last one just over here in there. Nicely done. And that is it for the engine bay and all the suspension. Now we've just got to go and build that beautiful, beautiful V8 engine. So in we go to the next room. Looking nice on the stand. The block is in a black and a little bit of red on there. It's not quite the same fully matched in, but we did the best we could. Got a camshaft and the crankshaft in there. The oil pans in a black, and the heads are just in that pearl red. Inside the heads, you've got 8 rocker arms on each side, along with 8 valve push rods, so 16 of each of them in total. 4 spark plugs on either side, so 8 of them in total. Well, let's crack on, and let's get the front of this engine all going. Cam gear in you go, and a timing chain just on the top there, with a timing cover, which is in that lovely red. Now, when we get it in the car, all of these bolts will go red, and it's going to look just that little bit better. Water pumps in a black, again with the red bolts that will eventually go on there. Crankshaft pulley in a black, water pump pulley in a red, and then we can't do anything else for the moment for there. Power steering pumps in a black just on there. On that side, the alternator is in a black on this side. Then we've got the oil filter down here, which is in a black and red, mostly black with the red text and a little bit of a red rim around there. Ignition coil, not painted because it's already black and red. It's got a little splash of bronze, which I really enjoy. Fuel filters in the pearl red, and then we've got the belts just in a pearl black on there. In you go and in you go. With a lovely fan on the front, which is in a black, but it's going to have red bolts on it when it's finished. Looking pretty good. Ignition distributor is in a red and black, obviously mostly black with a few splashes of red in there. Rotor not painted, and then the cap on top in a black and red. This is not the normal red. This is the alternative red that you can get with the Quality of Life mod paint. So it's a slightly different colour. Clips are both in the wonderful pearl red. In you go. In you go. There we go. Press on you. Then let's get the head covers on. These are just in a black. In my head, they match the stripes going front to back on the car, although they're nowhere near as central, but it's still going to look good, hopefully. So let's get these all bolted up and ready to go, and then we can crack on and get a little bit more done. Starting with these ignition wires, which are in that pearl red, looking very nice on there. Intake manifold, also in that pearl red, looking beautiful. In you go. Then we've got the 4-barrel carb, just in a full black on there. And then we've got the air filter base in black with our performance air filter on top there. And a lovely black cover just to finish it off. And that roll will be red. So it's going to look very nice. Exhaust manifolds. These are in the same black as the exhaust on the outside of the car. So hopefully this is all going to look absolutely incredible when we get it dropped in literally just a moment. Get this bolted up. That's that engine all finished, looking absolutely fantastic. I'm liking that in the black and red. Off the stand you come, and let's go get you dropped into our beautiful Shelby Cobra. In you go. Let's get this crane put away, and then let's take a look at that engine. That's looking good in there. Wish we could have done something with all of these steely metal pieces, maybe get them in black. I would have done something different with the engine, but it is what it is, and it still looks pretty good. Let's just jump into photo mode very, very quickly and go up and around here just to get a slightly better view of that engine, and not behind the hood we won't, but there we go. That's looking good. Pleased with that. Obviously that red bolt on the top there, and there are a few more red bolts just dotted in there. You can see it's an ever so slightly different colour, but it still looks good nonetheless. So let's crack on though. Up you go. We've got a few bits left to go in. A drive shaft, gearbox, and obviously we've got to get them wheels done. So if we go underneath there, click on the engine and jump up, and let's get the gearbox in, which is just in a solid black on there. No red splashes on this one today. Obviously just them red bolts. The starter is in a lovely little red on there, looking nice. And then for our drive shaft today, we went with the carbon one again, but once again we removed all the carbon from it and just kept it in a black and red. It's a little bit weird, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. Obviously the knuckle doesn't quite reach. Maybe it's just because it's too short, and this piece is not meant to fit in there at all, hence why you get that outline going all the way down. But there we go, just the wheels left to go as we take a walk out from underneath our Cobra. Very black in the middle, lots of splashes of red at the front there, looking very nice. And obviously that rear diffuser in a lovely bit of carbon fibre. Back down you go. I'm not going to bother tinting the windows today because we've only got the main windshield, so we don't need it and you can't see in or out of it. So we're just going to leave that one as it is. We're going to get some beautiful wheels done. They are probably going to be black, maybe a splash of two-tone in there, but I'm probably going to stick with the original wheels that came on it, which I believe is the Typhoon. It is indeed. And that's probably what we're going to stick with, although I will play around and see what we like. We'll get the wheels done. We'll get no windows tinted, liquids topped up, wheels done, and get this beautiful Cobra outside in the sun. Well, there she is, the finished Shelby Cobra, and that radiator showing up in red through the grille, through the front there. The intercooler is a bit down below, so we can't actually see that one. But I'm loving this in the red and black. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Excellent work on this by Payne. Loving the Carroll Shelby autograph on there. I think it looks so good. And I cannot wait for this to come out and you all to be able to play around with it. But let's talk about these rims. I'm going to put a bit of torch on there because it's a little bit dark. We did stick with the Typhoon rims, but definitely changed the sizes a few ways. To start with, they're an 18-inch rim, much bigger. They start as 14s, 15s, I believe. Then we got 235 width, which is the same. 40 profile, which is a lot lower. It starts with a 60. And we did also need ET of 25 just to bring this out so it didn't clip with them brake calipers on there. Down at the back, it's ever so similar. Still an 18-inch rim, but it's 295 width, so we've got some slightly wider tyres ready for the drag strip a little bit later on. 35 profile, so a little bit less than the front, but because they're bigger, they look around the same size. And an ET of 25 still to make sure that brake caliper didn't clip in there. But there we go. Loving this one. Changed the red on the seats. They've also got black bars underneath, which you can't really see. It must be blended into the floor of the car somewhere. And then black and red on that new Momo steering wheel, modded in by Multiply. Looking absolutely fantastic. The torch is too bright to see that one. The interior in here is absolutely fantastic. I genuinely love it. But let's get this one started and see what that one carb engine sounds like. Not bad on the tick over. We've heard it many a times before, but let's give it some gas. Still sounding pretty mean at that top end. Absolutely loving it. Let's get this beautiful Shelby Cobra onto the dyno. See what its horsepower is. What its drag racing will be today. Let's see what kind of power we're producing from our boosted Shelby Cobra SC. 485 factory horsepower. We've added a lot of performance parts today. So where have we ended up? Let's have a look. Only a gain of 397 horsepower. 82%. Obviously we are missing the ECU, which is the biggest performance increase I believe you can get on any car. Plus, this isn't a TK Aftermarket engine, so no real bonus for TK Aftermarket parts on there. So not too bad, bringing us up to 881 total horsepower and a drag rating of 920, which shouldn't be too shabby. Definitely in the top category But again, not quite at that top end. Let's have a look at the gearbox tuning. That's what we've gone for. A nice 1:8:2 ratio. Blink, and you'll miss it. First gear, 104 kilometers an hour. Fourth gear, 389. Relatively accurate. I think we should get around those sort of numbers today. Not too shabby. Obviously, no ECU, but we do have a carb that's fully tuned. And I will include a short just up here to learn how to tune the carbs every time. Slightly harder than the ECU, but once you've figured it out, it is nice and simple. Let's get the beautiful Shelby Cobra onto the drag strip and see if we can live up to that beautiful namesake, Carroll Shelby. I have been looking forward to this since I got given this car by Payne to show off before it comes out on release. So I'm definitely looking forward to drag racing this bad boy. The lovely Shelby Cobra. Let's get into it. King of the Sands, 1 mile A-class, and pay our 1,000 entry fee. Our first race, we're probably going to lose, really, is against the McLaren F1 wide body, driven by Jackal up there. Nice to see you. We've got Skin Gravel in the Hamad Austral VM Thor edition. Liking that one. Who else have we got in with us today? My brother just Sam in the DeLorean DMC-12 wide body. That's a car that also always beats us. So, I mean, the worst first race possible. Like, I've beaten all of these many a times. This one I've lost to a couple of times. This I lose to almost every single time. So thank you, game, for putting the only McLaren on us to start with. But anyway, come on, Jackal. Let's see if we can beat you in the McLaren F1 wide body. Pearl Orange McLaren versus Pearl Red and Black Shelby Cobra. I know which one I want to win, the one that we are driving. But Jackal is behind the wheel of that wide-body McLaren, and it's probably going to kick her ass, let's be honest. The most unfair first race of all time. So let's get in. Let's go. Come on, you beautiful little Shelby. Off the line. Into second. Come on, car. We just want to beat the McLaren. Into third. We're winning at the moment, but I'm pretty confident that is all going to change by the time we get to the end of this drag strip. There we go. Oh, no. Go on, peter off, McLaren. That's it. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to beat the McLaren in the first race. Unlucky Jackal across the line, and we've finally beat the McLaren F1 wide body, and I am so happy about that. Unfortunate for you, Jackal, you have lost in the first round to us, but there we go. 9.170 seconds to the quarter of a mile, 23.212 seconds to the 1 mile, and a top speed 341 kilometers an hour. Same top speed, so close to the end at the 1 mile there. Definitely had it in the quarter of a mile, but there we go. Very happy with that. Finally beating the McLaren F1 wide body. I'm sure I have done it once or twice before, but I just remember losing to it all the time. So there we go. Into the next round, and the McLaren is already gone. Let's see who we've got next. Skin Gravel still in our lovely build of the Hamad Austral S, the VM Thor edition. Are we going to be able to beat it with the Shelby Cobra today? Just Sam is still in as well. Wide body DeLorean versus wide body DeLorean. One of them's definitely making it through to the next round. So let's get on with it. Let's see if we can beat Skin Gravel in the Hamad Austral S VM Thor edition. Still preferring that beautiful pearl red Shelby Cobra with its lovely black accents. The Hamad Austral 4 VM edition is a beautiful car. I can't remember if we did a livery for it or not. I'm sure we must have, because I do like making liveries. But hopefully we can beat that. I'm already feeling great considering we beat the McLaren widebody, so I don't really mind if we lose now. I beat the car I wanted to beat. So let's get in. Let's go. Come on, Shelby. You can do this. Off the line. That felt a bit different on the acceleration from there. I don't know why, but there we go. Into third. Where are you? Oh, pretty close. Closer than the McLaren was at this point, but let's get into top gear and see. Oh, no. 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 We are going to lose to it. We're definitely going to lose to it. That is a shame. We beat the wide-body McLaren and have lost to the Hamad Austral S VM Thor edition. Was one of my own creations, and it is designed to be incredibly fast on the drag strip. Beat it on the quarter of a mile, though, 9.284. Not beating our first run, which is a bit of a shame. 23.347 to the 1 mile. Again, not quite beating our first run, but not far off on the top speed. Exactly the same. So we've sadly gone out after beating the car that I didn't think we'd beat, and then losing to the car that I did think we'd beat. But there we go. One of them things. Let's get back. Skin Gravel has made it through. So let's get back and see who else has made it through. Is my brother still in? And then we'll go off and do a quick 1v1 just to get a base time down for the beautiful Shelby Cobra. My brother's still in the wide-body DeLorean. Obviously, Skin Gravel's still in because he just beat us. Not happy. Not happy at all. We've got the Fiat 500 VM Abarth V12 in there as well. So two of my creations facing off against each other. And then we got the Ford F100 Drag versus my brother in the wide-body DeLorean. Who's going to make it into the next round, into the final? It is my VM Abarth V12 versus the Ford F100 Drag. So our two friends, or my brother and my friend, didn't make it into the final, which is a bit of a shame. Who's going to take the victory? It is the Ford F100 Drag, not even one of my creations. We did manage to make a little bit of money, though. 750 credits. I will definitely take that. Let's go and do a quick 1v1 with 3 randomizations, just so we get an average time down. We're still going to pick the fastest. It's just nice to get 3 runs in instead of just 2. So let's go and do that before heading back to the garage. Here we go, back at the main entrance. Now we're just going into a 1v1. We're going to keep it 1 mile, and we're going to do 3 randomizations. Please don't be the McLaren again. 1, 2, 3, and we're against the 1965 Ford Mustang RTR Fastback. It's got a little bit of a better drag rating than we have. Our tuning's a little bit better. It just means their engine is much more powerful than ours is, considering it's the same engine. So let's get on with it. Let's try and win. The beautiful pearl red and black Shelby Cobra versus a car that Shelby did play around with himself, the beautiful Ford Mustang. I believe he did help originally design the body, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I might have just pulled that fact out of thin air, which could be true. We'll find out. But anyway, let's get in and try and win our final race of the day with the beautiful Shelby Cobra. Let's go. Off the line for the last time, into second. Come on, you beautiful little car. Into third. Where is that Mustang? We are flying away from that Mustang. Nice and happy about that. Are we going to win our third and final race of the day? I mean, the Mustang is still miles behind us. So we'll take it. Let's just get going and see if we can get the best run of the day on our final run as we get across the line. What have we got? 9.295, not as good as our first or second run, which is a bit of a shame. 23.360 to the 1 mile, again not as good as our first or second runs, but still with the same top speed of 341 kilometers an hour, meaning we are going to use our first run, which was a 9.170 seconds to the quarter of a mile, 23.212 to the 1 mile, and a top speed of 341 kilometers an hour. Let's get this beautiful Shelby Cobra back to the garage, see if we can sell it on for a little bit of profit, and see where it'll sit on our lovely speeder board. Well, there we have it. That beautiful, beautiful engine, all finished with the lovely Shelby Cobra. Absolutely stunning car. Maybe not the best on the drag strip. It still did pretty good, coming in at 9.170 seconds for the quarter of a mile, 23.212 to the 1 mile, and a top speed of 341 kilometers an hour, pitting it 44th out of 98 on the speeder board. Bang on halfway. I'm happy with that. This beautiful, beautiful car. But let's talk facts and figures. I bought the car for $313,312 and could have sold it and made almost $20,000 profit, but we didn't do that. We spent a further $134,727 upgrading, modifying, and tuning this beautiful Shelby Cobra to how you see it today, or right now, should I say, right in front of your very, very eyes. Putting our total spend at $448,039. Will there be some money to be made? Let's get in. Let's take a look. Well, there it is, all 100% complete. Absolutely loving it. The engine ramped up from 485 horsepower to 881, a gain of 82%. Lots of 8s said there. It's a V8. Do we say any more? Probably if we wanted to, but we're not going to. We did spend 448,039 to get there. Can we make some profit from the Shelby Cobra? Yes, with the sale price of $3,451,916. There's definitely some money to be made from this car. Take away what we spent on it, which was a little under $500,000, leaves us with $3,003,877 profit, plus our $750 for winning our first drag race, puts us at $3,004,627 profit from this beautiful, beautiful car. I have loved it. Absolutely perfect. Well done to Payne for this. This is a beautiful, beautiful car, and I'm going to be building a couple more of these. Going to make the Le Mans hardtop, because I think that is a stunning look for this vehicle. But there we go. It's time to sell this one and take all of our profit. That is going to boost us money-wise quite considerably. 88 million we're up to now. But what have we got coming up in the next episode? Well, I've already told you it is our competition build coming up next. This is my Chrysler 300C, and if I could get in... Why would it not let me select anything on it? There we go. That was weird. Weird angle, but there we go. It is just the VM edition. Nothing special on this one. I mean, there's plenty of special, but I haven't swapped the engine or anything like that. We've just gone for visual effects on this one. And again, I'm going to ask you when it comes out to rate it out of 10. We'll give you a week and then we'll get it on that board I showed you right at the beginning. The engine in this one is the V8 Hemi 6.1 litre with 431 factory horsepower. We are leaving that one in there. We're going to make it as fast as we can, powerful as we can, although we won't be racing it because it is one for you guys to vote on. Give it a score like you'll throw at a car show. Did I get a good deal for this one? No, obviously not. 13,298 is what I spent on it, and I could sell it right now for 12,271, losing 1,027 before we even begin. So hopefully when we finish with this beautiful Chrysler, we'll be able to make some money out of it. So make sure you join us back here on Wednesday for the beautiful Chrysler 300C. It's got some custom elements to it, maybe even a cheeky little livery. We shall see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping you guys are as well. What did you think of the Shelby Cobra? It's coming soon. You will be able to play with it not too long, about a month's time, and it'll be out for everyone to play around with. Make sure you join us back here on Wednesday for the Chrysler 300C. If you liked today's video, leave us a cheeky little like. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. And if you've got any suggestions for future builds, I'm always happy to hear them. Love hearing from you guys. It definitely makes it all feel a bit more worthwhile. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for sticking around to the end. One of the best ways you can support me. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you aren't already. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.